History will tell who the traitors were, deposed Venezuelan dictator Nicolás Maduro's son, Nicolás Maduro Guerra, has said after his father and First Lady Cilia Flores were captured following a U.S. military operation. In an audio message circulated on social media, Guerra warned of possible betrayal within the ruling movement, and history would expose those responsible. History will tell who the traitors were. History will reveal it. We will see, Guerra said.
We are fine. We are calm. You will see us in the streets alongside these people. They want to see us weak. We are going to raise the banners of dignity. Does it hurt us? Of course it hurts us. Of course it makes us angry. But they won't be able to, damn it. I swear to you on my life, on my mother, on Cilia, they won't be able to, he said in the audio recording, El Cooperative reported.
He also called supporters to take part in public mobilizations to regroup and strengthen unity around the leadership. He also spoke of the need for political and military coordination to respond to what he described as external aggression. Maduro Guerra is a lawmaker from La Guaira state and a member of the ruling United Socialist Party of Venezuela. Also known as the Prince, Guerra's role in Venezuela's drug operations is detailed in new U.S. indictments. According to U.S. federal prosecutors, Guerra is a key orchestrator of a sprawling narcotics network that allegedly leveraged state assets, military personnel, and political influence to transport cocaine from Venezuela to the United States. This comes as Nicolás Maduro and his wife, Cilia Flores, remain detained in the United States. They are expected to appear before a federal court in the Southern District of New York. Maduro is facing charges related to alleged narco-terrorism and conspiracy to traffic drugs. Earlier, the United States launched coordinated attacks on civilian and military installations across several Venezuelan states, with U.S. President Donald Trump claiming that President Nicolás Maduro had been captured in what he described as a large-scale American strike. Both were taken from their residence, moved to the USS Iwo Jima warship, and later flown to the United States. They arrived in New York on Saturday afternoon to face criminal proceedings in U.S. courts.
Late last night and early today, at my direction, the United States Armed Forces conducted an extraordinary military operation in the capital of Venezuela. Overwhelming American military power, air, land, and sea, was used to launch a spectacular assault, and it was an assault like people have not seen since World War II. It was a force against a heavily fortified military fortress in the heart of Caracas to bring outlaw dictator Nicolás Maduro to justice. This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence in American history. And if you think about it, we've done some other good ones, like the attack on Soleimani, the attack on al-Baghdadi, and the obliteration and decimation of the Iran nuclear sites just recently in an operation known as Midnight Hammer, all perfectly executed and done. No nation in the world could achieve what America achieved yesterday, or frankly, in just a short period of time. All Venezuelan military capacities were rendered powerless as the men and women of our military, working with U.S. law enforcement, successfully captured Maduro in the dead of night. It was dark. The lights of Caracas were largely turned off due to a certain expertise that we have. It was dark and it was deadly. But captured along with his wife, Cilia Flores, both of whom now face American justice. Maduro and Flores have been indicted in the Southern District of New York, Jay Clayton, for their campaign of deadly narco-terrorism against the United States and its citizens. I want to thank the men and women of our military who achieved such an extraordinary success overnight with breathtaking speed, power, precision, and competence. You rarely see anything like it. You've seen some raids in this country that didn't go so well. They were an embarrassment. If you look back to Afghanistan, or if you look back to the Jimmy Carter days, they were different days. We're a respected country again, maybe like never before. These highly trained warriors operating in collaboration with U.S. law enforcement caught them in a very ready position. They were waiting for us. They knew we had many ships out in the sea, just sort of waiting. They knew we were coming. So they were in what's called a ready position, but they were completely overwhelmed and very quickly incapacitated. If you would have seen what I saw last night, you would have been very impressed. I'm not sure that you'll ever get to see it, but it was an incredible thing to see. Not a single American service member was killed, and not a single piece of American equipment was lost. We had many helicopters, many planes, many people involved in that fight. But think of that, not one piece of military equipment was lost, not one service member was, more importantly, killed. The United States military is the strongest and most fearsome military on the planet by far. With capabilities and skills our enemies can scarcely begin to imagine. We have the best equipment anywhere in the world. There's no equipment like what we have, and you see that even if you just look at the boats. We've knocked out 97% of the drugs coming in by sea. 90%. Each boat kills on average, 25,000 people. We knocked out 97%. And those drugs mostly come from a place called Venezuela. We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious because that's what we're all about. We want peace, liberty, and justice for the great people of Venezuela, and that includes many from Venezuela that are now living in the United States and want to go back to their country. It's their homeland. We can't take a chance that somebody else takes over Venezuela that doesn't have the good of the Venezuelan people in mind. We've had decades of that. We're not going to let that happen. We're there now, and what people don't understand, but they understand as I say this, we're there now, but we're going to stay until such time as the proper transition can take place. So we're going to stay until such time as we're going to run it, essentially, until such time as a proper transition can take place.